Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host, Curtis Phillips, a.k.a. Philly Picks, as we take you guys down till 6 o'clock per usual here on the Big X, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. A lot to discuss. We've wrapped up the Masters over the weekend. No Monday show, obviously, for the Ticket Puncher, so we react to some things that happened over the weekend as well on our Tuesday show. Going to get a few thoughts about that. A lot of NBA talk for today, as we will have the play-in, and we will have the NBA playoffs in front of us, so we're going to get some chatter on that. And, of course, the MLB has ramped up. We've gotten to see some teams really, really amp up the bats. A few aces and pitchers start to find a groove. And now we're getting some of the third and fourth rounds of some of these pitchers being out there, and you kind of have a good gauge on what some of these teams are doing. So some of the MLB betting has been good and been accurate here for both Curtis Phillips, our handicapper on the show, and myself, as we are still punching tickets. Curtis, how are you today, my man? You've got the Miami gear on. You've got the Miami Vice edition on the jersey. You've got the hat on as well, the blue, the turquoise with the pink. I see you rocking it. That's what they rocked 2 years ago in the play-in, I believe. And Miami Heat, if they're in the play-in, there's going to be some excitement, and we've got the Heat in action tonight. Before we get into that, though, Curtis, I first want to ask you, how have you been doing? How's life been treating you, Curtis? How's the sports working been doing over the past couple of weeks? And just how are you overall?
Yeah, going great. I had a pretty good weekend. Obviously, Friday, starting with the Kings, got to see them in person play for the first time. Got to see you, Roman, do your in-game game host, so it was good seeing that. Unfortunate the way we lost. I'm sure we'll get into that at some point during the show. But that was good Friday. Saturday, got to spend some time with the family. Sunday, went to the Reds game. Haven't seen them play in person since I moved away from Cincinnati. So overall, I had a great weekend. Punches were Friday and Saturday were pretty good. Yesterday and Sunday, not so great. So looking to bounce back from that. But yeah, overall, a fantastic weekend. How about yourself, Roman?
I had a pretty good weekend. It was a back and forth weekend. Obviously, the vibes are up Friday for my second gig. I get down there feeling prepared. Do a pretty good job, I thought, for my second overall performance as an in-game host. And just trying to improve and work on the little things that I didn't think I did as good as I could have possibly done in the first game. Improved on those, added a couple of things that we did. Just overall working on my ability to improvise in those moments, because a lot of my script is say something along these lines, right? And I have to kind of make it hype. I've got to find a way to articulate well, but also get hype and have people feel like I'm one of them. So that was kind of what we were trying to address this Friday. We're going to build on that for the next game that we have down at Lynn Family Stadium in a few weeks. So that was fun. Saturday, I had my best friend's brother's funeral. Obviously, he was 29 years old. So that was an extremely sad day, dealing with a brain tumor situation. So it was not like it was a tragic situation, very, very sad, but not like some kind of crazy car accident or something like that. But it was still nevertheless an extremely sad situation to be dealing with, being around his family. But I still got to spend some time with him after that. We went down to the range Saturday, got to swing the golf clubs a little bit because we had a round of golf to play on Sunday. Curtis shot my best round ever, shot a 106 at Seneca.
Oh, yeah.
Shot a 51 on the front nine, a 55 on the back nine. just my overall best day of golf in my life in terms of not losing golf balls and actually making good contact on my tee shots in the direction I wanted to go to. So that was fun. Ready to build on that and try to have an exciting second year of golfing and see if I can break 100 this summer. And then Sunday, so that was Sunday. Finished up watching the Masters on the course there. We didn't make any money, unfortunately, on the Masters, Curtis. We had Scotty Scheffler to come top 5. We had Justin Rose to come top 10. That part of the parlay was perfect for quite some time. And then we also had Bryson DeChambeau to come top 10 as well. But after the first couple of days we knew that wasn't going to happen, unfortunately. It's all good, though. We'll hit them in some of the tournaments going forward later in the year and see if we can get back right for the Masters next year after we learn even more about the golf and the PGA, the golfing ranks and the PGA golfers this coming year. Nevertheless, Curtis, let's get right into it for the day. I'm going to go over the official punches that we had for actually, I guess we'll start with Monday. I had 2 punches yesterday. We hit the Orioles money line straight up yesterday on a little bit of a comeback win. That one was sweaty. They got down to, I believe, 4-1 yesterday in that game, but they do come back, battle back, and get the victory for us. We also had the Philadelphia Phillies team total. The Orioles beat the Diamondbacks for us. They win 9-7. We had the Phillies team total over 4.5 to cover the 5 runs over the Cubs in Philadelphia, and they cover that. That one was a bit late as well. They scored I guess not much of a sweat, but took them to the 5th inning to get there. And then they covered that pretty safely in the 6th inning as well. So we hit 2-0 yesterday on our MLB punches, Curtis. We didn't have any punches over the weekend due to the lack of the Friday show. I wasn't able to lock in like I wanted to, as you just heard of all the different things I was doing on Saturday and Sunday. We missed it. I say that we obviously bet some punches, but we weren't able to get those tweeted out, unfortunately. So those don't get to account for the record. But not a bad weekend, Curtis. You hit some and you missed some. Hit a few MLB dingers last week as well. We've got a 50% boost for a live dinger prop today we could use on the FanDuel side of books. We have a couple of boosts on DraftKings as well, Curtis. Talk us into how the MLB is shaping up right now. We've seen the teams that are starting to look like they're going to be elite pretty much as expected. I think there's not very, very many teams that are looking like they're like head and shoulders above the rest. A couple of teams that are performing a little bit better than expected, I think, for the most part. You look at the Guardians getting the job done in games where they've been underdogs. You look at the Twins getting the job done in games they've been underdogs in. Mariners not getting the job done in games you would have expected them to win so far this season. Give us a team, Curtis, a couple of teams that have caught your eye this season, or a couple of teams right now, just the way that they're playing, you think that they've got some opportunity to make some noise here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, first I'll start off by saying I've never seen the MLB start like this. It's kind of interesting. You see every team is within 6 to 10 wins besides the Dodgers. I think they're sitting at 12 wins, but there's no like really bad teams. Like everybody's kind of in the middle at the moment. So that's pretty interesting. I think the team that has surprised me the most so far is the Minnesota Twins, sitting at 10-7. Really didn't do anything in the offseason. So with the roster that they have constructed right now, expecting them to play as good as they are at the moment. Another team that's kind of well is the Miami Marlins, sitting at 9-8. Not a great roster as well, but they've been playing some good ball outside of the Tiger series that just went on. There's a few teams that I thought that would improve. Teams like the Pirates that are shaping up to be a really good team, have a good pitching staff, have really good hitters. But yeah, overall, it's been ultra competitive by really every team. You usually don't see, every team within about a 4-game difference. So I like the way everybody's been competitive thus far this season. So.
Yeah, like you said, the Twins, they've been getting the job done. They've been winning. Obviously, the Dodgers, it's a bit expected. They've won a couple of close games where they kind of could have went either way, and you expect those bats to get the job done. But when you've got the pitchers that they've accumulated, they should be 12-4, right? We're going to kind of put the Dodgers off to the side. They're meeting the expectation when you have a roster like that, when you have a payroll like that. If you look at teams like the Astros, who have got the roster that can make noise and win games, but they've dealt with some injuries last season, have dealt with some injuries this season, guys that they were expecting to kind of be immediate factors for them, slow starts for them as well for the Astros, just teams that you expect to be already early in that win column, well above 500, still below 500. And I'm excited to see how this parity kind of unfolds as we get deeper into the MLB season. Curtis, before we go out into some MLB punches, I do have a couple of punches for today in the MLB. I've actually got three official. I have two official punches and an official jab for tonight that we're going to be getting into, Curtis, but a lot of people do tune in for the NBA talk that we have. Now, obviously, when it's college basketball time, we all follow that here on the show very, very prevalently. But it's NBA now because of the season ending. We have the playoffs ahead of us. And I want to get into this, Curtis, because some of the most exciting games we've seen these last 3 or 4 years in the NBA have been NBA play-in games. These teams are teams that have some of these teams have been in situations these last few years where the roster from top to bottom wouldn't be one that you expect to be in that 7, 8, 9, 10 seed spot. A player comes back from injury. A player spends 2 or 3 months out, and they go on a below 500 stretch in that time frame without that player, right? And they're actually maybe a better team than what their record suggests. And that's why they made this shift for the play-ins. There's a lot of different reasons as to why teams are going up and down throughout a year. And if they've pulled it all together at the end of a season, they deserve to have the opportunity to kind of make that work for them. Just like a team that's maybe won all year, has a big injury, a big change towards the end of the season. They've started to lose some games. People have viewed them as this team that was going to be a playoff lock. They may not be as good as people thought. They deserve that. There needs to be an even opportunity. So I love the NBA play-in. I'm excited about it. Yes, it can be tough to talk about at times, just the complexities to it, but I've pretty much gotten to the point where I've memorized it now. And Curtis, we've got 2 matchups tonight. We've got an Eastern Conference matchup, and we've got a Western Conference matchup, the 9th and 10th place games in the Eastern Conference. So Heat and Hornets going at it at 7:30. What this means for these two teams being in the 9th and 10th spot, winning this game does not mean you are a playoff team. Winning this game tonight means you are in the race to be you have the opportunity to still fight for that 8th seed. Loser, season's over tonight. In Charlotte, Curtis, let's chat about this because the Heat and Hornets are two very, very opposite teams. And the season series between these two teams is ridiculous. The amount of points that the Heat have scored in the wins against the Hornets and the amount of points the Hornets have scored in wins against the Heat is outrageous. And I want to see where you're at as a Heat fan looking at this matchup, knowing what Eric Spoelstra does in these kind of win or go home situations. He gets the best of his teams. He game plans just as good as anybody in the NBA we've pretty much ever seen. I know you've got to be feeling good about your chances tonight against this a Charlotte side who has been iffy when defending your Miami Heat. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, no biasy, but I do like my Heat tonight. I think we're getting a few too many points, and when you have a coach like Spo that's been here, we've been here the last 3 or 4 years since the play-in started, going up against a Hornets team which we've owned not only this year but the past couple years. I do love what this Hornets team has done, particularly in the year of 2026, this calendar year. They're one of the hottest teams in the entire NBA, but at the same time, they have a lot of players that have not yet been here before. Not a lot of guys on that roster with playoff experience. It's a very young team, young coach. So I'm curious how they come out, how they can handle the pressure. They are at home, which obviously helps. But like I said, when you have a team like my Miami Heat, I know we've kind of limped our way into the play-in, but just with the experience, we've played these games year in, year out. Saw 3 years ago, us finish as an 8 seed and get all the way to the NBA Finals, which nobody was expecting. Now, I'm not saying that happens this year, but I do think we keep it close tonight. So my first official punch actually will be my Heat +6. We've never been eliminated in the play-in tournament. The Hornets, they've never won a play-in tournament game. So I do think we keep this within the 6 points, but this should be a very good game.
I'm with you, Curtis. I'm with you for all the same reasons. These two teams have played semi-recently. When you look at the last couple of matchups, they're not too long ago. They played, I believe, in March twice. They played in March. Yes, we've got the Heat, Hornets. On March 17th, the Hornets won 136-106 in Charlotte. But just a few weeks before that, on March 6th, the Heat won in Charlotte 128-120. And the Heat have been extremely up and down this season in terms of those kinds of scoring outputs because they've had such a big flux in the pace of play due to their rotations. When Hero's healthy, when Norm's healthy, when Wiggins is healthy, Davion Mitchell's healthy, them guys are getting up and down the floor. When you've had to play the slower Jaime Jaquez, playing through him and playing through Bam Adebayo and trying to get the most that you can out of some of these other guys, it's been a little bit tougher for them to put the points up like that on the board. They're not dealing with any major injuries tonight. They don't have Nikola Jovic, who does play for them when he is healthy. Outside of that, just the Drew Smith kid out. No major injuries for the Hornets. So I like this one to be a close game. I think the defense is going to be on display early in this one. I don't think you're going to see both of these two teams scoring 30-plus in that first quarter. But I do have the Heat, Curtis, as an official punch as well. I raised this up, though. You took the +6. I was going to take the +6. I knew the line was going to fade down to 5.5 with all of the bets that were going to be coming in on the Heat. But I still have alternated up. I'm taking the Heat +7.5. I don't know why I can't just take my gut instinct with certain plays. I think you're looking at the last two games in which the Hornets have still scored points against the Heat. I don't think that the Heat, there's any reason to believe the Heat won't keep that close, though. I still can't take them to win for some reason, Curtis. I've got to trust Vegas for whatever reason on this line of the Hornets being the favorite. They're seeing something I don't. Miami at +195, we will be jabbing that tonight. I do think Eric Spoelstra has the advantage in this matchup with the know-how. I think they're going to play Bam Adebayo heavy minutes. You're going to have your interior on the floor. If you can get good scoring production out of Bam and Hero, this game will be close. I've got Heat at +7.5 at -130 for my first official punch of the night in the NBA, Curtis.
That's right.
Second punch of the night in the NBA, a lot more basic reasoning here on this one. We do have the Phoenix Suns going up against the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. Grayson Allen is a game-time decision, as is Jeremy Grant. I call him Jeremy. Sorry about that. But he is a game-time decision as well with the calf injury. Both of these guys expected to play tonight. Curtis, the Suns at home, we know what the Suns do at home. If it's not one of those top couple of seeds, they get the job done. This Suns crowd has been nice all season long. I like the Suns to get the job done over the Blazers tonight just because of the simple fact of the defensive tenacity that they play with. Suns are a much better defensive team than the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are going to be trying to win a game in which they outscore them. if the Trailblazers get to 115 points, I can see them winning this game. I don't see this game getting that far up at all. You see the over-under sitting at 216.5 right now. If that over-under stays online, Curtis, Suns win this game easily, in my opinion. But I've got them to cover at -2.5. That's going to be my second official Big X big bet of the night.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Not making it official, but I do like the Suns tonight as well. Similar to the Heat Hornets matchup, I think it's anytime there's experience over non-experience or not much experience, I'm taking the experience 9 times out of 10, and that's what the Suns have more so than the Trailblazers. So I do think Suns get this done at home as well.
We're actually I'm gonna jab the -4.5 for plus money on this game. We're gonna go ahead and make that an official punch as well. Miami +7.5, Phoenix Suns -4.5 for plus money. And that's going to be the two official punches we've got in the NBA tonight. We're not touching any player props for tonight. Curtis, you got any officials outside of that Suns spread?
Nope, no officials in that. Nope.
All right, let's get it then. In the NBA, you've heard what we're on. We're rocking with the Heat. We're rocking with the Suns. We're rocking with the Heat to cover and keep that game close, and we're rocking with the Suns to win for the first 2 playoff games for tonight. Winner of the Suns-Blazers game does receive the 7th seed. Loser has to play the winner of the 9-10 game for the 8th seed. We'll see what those games look like tomorrow. All right, Curtis, let's transition. Let's look into what we've got in the MLB tonight. I've got a couple of exciting plays that I'm looking forward to tonight. We've got a debut a pitcher debut tonight that I'm going to be betting, an official prop there. But I want to see what our Philly Picks handicapper has for us on the docket for today. Curtis, you've been, I won't say, killing them here in April, but you've been hot in April. You've been in the positive in April, and let's continue that tonight. What you got for? Actually, before you give it to us, we will be dropping the Louisville City money line tonight as an official jab. We're going to put this for our record, an official jab, meaning I'm not going to necessarily recommend you betting a team not in the MLS against a team in the MLS. You know that there are levels to this, but Louisville City at plus 115 on their home field when they've consistently won these kinds of matchups. I like Louisville City for a little bit of plus fun tonight, or a little plus money fun tonight. Also, we're going to be at the game, so why not take them for the sake of being at the game, Curtis? But that is going to wrap us up for the NBA and then for the soccer for today. What else you got for us, Curtis, on the MLB tonight?
Yeah, first I will start off with the Orioles on the money line. I know, Roman, you had them yesterday. Crazy comeback. They was down 7-1. Came back to win 9-7. I'm going to rock with them today. A little more juicier today at minus 158. But I always like to back Trevor Rogers, pitcher for the Orioles. He's just a winning machine for them. He has been the last 2 seasons. They're ace at this point. And then I'm really just fading Merrill Kelly as well, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks, making his first start of the season. And Merrill Kelly has a lot of mixed results, but making his first start on the road, I don't mind fading that at all. So I think the Orioles do get it done tonight. So that would be my first official punch. My second official punch, I'll rock with the Rockies on the run line, plus 1.5 at minus 138. Going on the road against the Astros. I know you mentioned them, Roman, earlier, how they haven't been performing the way we've thought. Do have a lot of, I think they have 3 starting pitchers that have already been on the IL, so they're really hurting in that aspect. Don't have much pitching. I know it's the Colorado Rockies, but they just swept the Astros in Colorado, and Astros are on an 8-game losing streak. So one thing I've learned in the MLB, if a team is, no matter how good or bad, if a team is hot, you rock with them, you ride with them. If a team is cold, you fade them. So that's what I will do tonight in that game. Rockies plus 1.5. And then my last official punch in the MLB. This is a little juicy, but I like the Angels and Yankees total home runs over 2.5 at minus 174. Yesterday, there were 7 combined home runs hit in this game, including 3 different players that hit 2+ each. Wind blowing out in Yankee Stadium. I think we get 3 combined home runs in this game. And then it is Dinger Tuesday, so I do have to drop my I have 2
Dinger of the day.
Dinger of the day. I have 2 today. I couldn't help myself with all the home runs hit yesterday. First one, O'Neal Cruz for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His odds were at plus 324, which is my birthday, so I had to take those odds. Going up against Miles Michaelis, who, I guess they switched the pitcher. Okay, so never mind, scratch that. But he's still hot on a 12-game hit streak, and the wind's blowing out in PNC Park. So I think O'Neal Cruz, with his hot bat, will find a way to find a ball into the bleachers. So that would be my first Dinger Tuesday pick. My second one, it'll be actually against my Cincinnati Reds, and I'm going to take Matt Chapman. His odds were at plus 520. I used my FanDuel boost for him to get it around plus 780. But great history versus Brady Singer, 7 of 10 with 2 home runs. Wind is blowing crazy out in Red Stadium there. So I like Matt Chapman to get a home run as well. So
I like that Matt Chapman play for sure there, Curtis. We're going to be rocking with you on that Orioles money line as well. Didn't want to give the same team out on an official 2 days in a row, but like you mentioned, with Rogers on the mound for the Orioles, he's already 2-0. He's got the best ERA in the MLB, I believe, right now. Obviously on a handful of starts. No, only top. He's moved down, actually. He's at 15th best ERA now. Tied for 8th in win-loss. But with Rogers on the mound going up against the Diamondback side again, I do like him to keep the Diamondbacks runs low while he's out there for sure. We're on the Noah Schultz 5+ strikeouts today, Curtis. Making his debut for the White Sox in Chicago against the Rays. I feel like the White Sox, they're due for an exciting prospect like this to come in and do the things he was doing at AAA and AA down here for their MLB side. I can see him having one of those big 5, 6, maybe breaking some kind of debut White Sox record in some sort with either outs or innings or strikeouts. But we're going to take the 5+ strikeouts. He's been going crazy at AAA. I think he continues that on with his MLB debut tonight against this Rays side. And then the other play we've got in the MLB for tonight, Curtis, is the Blue Jays money line. Blue Jays going up against the Brewers in Milwaukee. And yeah, I know what it's like when I get how good Milwaukee is at home over the last handful of years. Milwaukee's banged up right now, Curtis. Yelich, I believe, out as of today. Got a couple of pitchers in the bullpen that are out. One more important batter, I believe. I'm forgetting who it was now. I didn't write the names down of the injuries that they were going through, but I did say they had a bunch of guys out. And they're going up against Gausman for the Blue Jays on the mound, who's been what we expect him to be, right? High K rate in his innings, in each and every inning he's already had this season. So I expect him to keep the runs low and for the Blue Jays to take advantage of this beat up Brewers side with Gausman on the mound. That's going to be my only two officials in the MLB for tonight. We did have one more jab that I had written down here. Let me go see if I can find that. We were going to jab the Giants Reds under 9.5, Curtis, but we were going to get your opinion on that one.
You said the under?
Yeah, the under 9.5 in the Giants, Reds. We got Singer and Ray going up against each other. I feel like a lot of people think this one's going to be a high-run game, and I feel like I'm going to take it. Brady to finally have a good outing out there. Not finally, but to have a good outing out there in terms of keeping this low-scoring game, a low-scoring one, and then for the Giants for the Reds bats to not probably go crazy. I get they had, 6 runs in their last game out. I think this one stays low, though, for Curtis. It's just a gut instinct telling me here with Singer on the mound going up against Robbie Ray.
Yeah, you're great on your unders. I do not like the under tonight. I think there's a boatload of runs, and I'm honestly not sure why we're favored. Robbie Ray, I think the Giants have a great pitching advantage, but just with this, the way the line is, it's telling me that they think the Reds are going to put up some runs because, Brady Singer, I think he's been the weakest link in the Reds rotation so far. 3 earned runs, or 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 hits, 5 earned runs. He has not been good at all. So I don't think he figures it out of nowhere. So I honestly lean to the other side, Roman.
All right, we're gonna stay away from them. If Curtis isn't rocking with us, we're gonna stay away. We maybe see if there's an early run in that one. I'm gonna play the Nerfy though. You're not gonna stop me from playing the Nerfy, Curtis. If I've got that gut instinct, I gotta see if that Nerfy can play out for me, even through the wind up there in Cincinnati. That's going to wrap us up here on the official plays. We'll be still live on the Ticket Punchers for a couple of minutes on the YouTube side and on the X side where we can catch our visual stream if you want. But that is the official punches here on the Ticket Punchers. Roman Kelly, Curtis Phillips. And without further ado, Curtis, let's go punch those tickets.
Let's punch those tickets. Sorry about him, Minnie.
No, you're all good. You're all good there, Curtis. Let's see. Yeah, Curtis, I don't really actually have anything else for tonight.
I'll drop one more jab. I'm gonna rock with a no home run today in the Mariners-Padres game. I saw it early at plus 550. I'm about to check the odds real quick, but it's already a pitcher-friendly park. And let's see, yeah, home runs right now projected for a negative 16%. So, and Brian Rue for the Mariners, he's a very good pitcher. I am a little worried about Michael King, which when he lets up runs, it is due to the long ball, but he hasn't done much of that this season. So I think at the odds we're getting, I will definitely sprinkle on a no home run in that game.
All right. All right. I like it. Let's get those tweeted out, Curtis. Let's go punch those tickets in. Let's get it, my man.
All right, so let's go punch those tickets, brother.
Appreciate you guys listening. Shout out to our YouTube viewers and to our X viewers as well. Let us know if you guys are getting those punches in down in the comments below. We'll get into those comments and make sure they're read on the next show. Appreciate you guys.